Let's talk Tanya for the 13th of Iyar. Today we're starting chapter 47. In chapter 46, we spoke about the reciprocal love that we have for God when we contemplate the exodus from Egypt. The fact that God himself came, pulled us out of Egypt, that spiritually unholy, depraved place, and gave us the Torah and the mitzvahs, and entered into this incredibly close and intimate relationship with us. The question we left off with is, but that was a long time ago. That was thousands of years ago. So the Alter Rebbe begins this chapter with quoting from the Haggadah, where we say, "B'chol der v'der chayev adam liris es atzmai ki'ilu hu yatzam mitzrayim." That in every single generation, a person has to look at him or herself and envision themselves as if they left Egypt. And the Alter Rebbe actually adds in, not only b'chol der v'der, not only in every generation, but we know b'chol yoim v'yoim, which is that there is a mitzvah to remember the exodus from Egypt every single day, which means that we have to experience the exodus every single day. If we understand the going out of Egypt, not only on a physical level, Egypt being a certain location, but we understand that everything in Torah has multiple layers, and every single thing, every physical object or entity or place mentioned in the Torah has spiritual significance. Egypt, Mitzrayim, that state of lowliness and constriction exists within every single one of us. What is our Egypt? What is our Mitzrayim? That is our body, our animal soul, which is unholy and is filled with unholy temptations and desires and character flaws. So we are in Egypt. But every single day, we have the ability to study Torah, to do mitzvahs. So God taking us out of Egypt is not something that happened 3,300 years ago. It's something that's happening today. Every single time we open up a book and we study some Torah, every single time we do a mitzvah. Although this happens every time we learn Torah or do a mitzvah, when during the day do we focus on that? The time when we focus on this is during the Shema. When we say Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, Hear, O Israel, God is our God. Hashem Elokeinu, God is our God, as we mentioned in the last chapter. Just like Elokei Avraham, Elokei Yitzchak, Elokei Yaakov. Just like God had this incredible special relationship with Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, he was their God. When we say Shema, we focus on the same thing. Hashem Elokeinu, this is our God. When I do a mitzvah, when I study Torah, it's my God. I am connected. I am united with God. I am married to God. I am as holy as God. And in a way, actually, our experience is even more special than that of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, for a simple reason. Our patriarchs, Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, how did they attain the status of Elokei Avraham, Elokei Yitzchak, and Elokei Yaakov? How did they get this special relationship with God? It's because they were very special people, and they served God with incredible intensity and incredible passion. They earned it. We earned nothing. It's a gift that God has given us, every single one of us. The Torah and the mitzvahs and the ability to connect to God in this incredible way is a gift. And that is a reason to react with incredible love back to God. With this, the Alter Rebbe explains something interesting. We know the Shema is made up of three passages. There's the first passage, Shema and V'ahavta. That's the first passage. The second passage is V'hoya im Shemaya. And the third passage is V'yomer. Now, the first two passages are on the same theme, the same topic. They're part of the mitzvah of saying Shema. The third passage, Vayomer, which talks about tzitzis, actually is not part of the mitzvah of Shema. We say it to satisfy a separate mitzvah altogether, which is that we have to remember the going out of Egypt every morning and every night. So we say Shema every morning and every night. So the third passage of Shema, which concludes with the words, Ani Hashem Elokeichem asher hitzesi eschem eretz Mitzrayim, I'm your God who took you out of Egypt. By saying that, we satisfy the mitzvah of remembering the going out of Egypt every morning and every night. But the question is, why is that connected to Shema? It's a separate mitzvah. There's one mitzvah to say Shema. There's another mitzvah to remember the going out of Egypt. Why are those two lumped together? But now we understand. Actually, The Shema and the going out of Egypt is the same concept, the same idea. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Hashem Elokeinu, God is our God. God pulled us out of Egypt. He pulls us out of our mundaneness, out of our meaninglessness, out of our coarseness, and He becomes our God. That is the essence of leaving Egypt. And that is why we put these two together. Because every time we learn Torah, we do mitzvahs, we experience the going out of Egypt. But when do we feel it? At what time during the day do we feel it? When we say the Shema, which is why we conclude by saying, I am your God who took you out of Egypt. And what are the last words of Shema? Ani Hashem Elokechem, I am your God. And that is something which we experience every time we study Torah or do a mitzvah. With this, we've concluded chapter 47. We've also concluded this topic of reflective love, but not completely. This was one meditation on how to arrive at that reflective love for God, which is through contemplating the Exodus. In the next two chapters, 48 and 49, we are going to be learning about an entirely different meditation, which leads us also to reflect love back to God, but it's not one connected to the going out of Egypt, but as we will see starting in tomorrow's Tanya, it's one that's connected to the process of creation.